Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chatting with Charles. And I've got with me brother Ed, better known as Puppy Badass to all his friends. How you doing, Ed?
All right. How's everybody else doing?
All
It's
right,
good
I
to
think.
see everybody out there.
Well, let's see who we've got with us. We got Zach Thong early in the chat here, saying hello to both you and me.
Hey,
We
Zach.
got Earl Coli,
Hey,
and
Earl.
Earl's looking forward to listening to the conversation with brother Ed. He says, "What are we drinking, boys?" Oh yeah. Before I
Coffee
forget,
this
happy
morning.
haircut, Charlie. Cheers. Well, I'm still working on a cup of coffee here.
So ain't I?
All right. And we got Wayne McConnell. He's saying, yo, bros. Well, yo, bro, back to you, bud. Appreciate
Hey, Wayne.
you. And let's see. Jason, Gear Junkie 35, saying, good day, audio miscreants. Hope it's going great. It's going to be a great fucking day for everybody out there. Well, appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Yeah, Jason's very knowledgeable about a lot of things.
That he is. He knows his electronicals for sure.
Well, yeah.
And we got JP Page 2, our resident amp expert. Hello, Jerem. How you doing?
JP.
And we got BC Rich, our bass expert, in the chat. So, how you doing? And we, of course, we got Martin of L&M Guitar Corner. And he says, Charles and brother Ed, this will be great. I wonder how many buses Charles will have to dodge today. There is no knowing for sure. I fully expect to be way under the bus by the end of the show.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna throw him under the bus that much, Martin.
But really, the chat's kind of figured it out by now. They instigate stuff. We put it up there, and yeah. So you want to see me thrown under the bus? Feed Ed some material.
Yeah.
Hello there, Eddie Faye. A show about brothers, maybe some guitar topics. Yeah, we've kind of got that. We're gonna play around with Ed's guitar journey here, and there's a couple things he could use some help with, and we're gonna wrap around him as a community and get something done here.
Nice to see Eddie Faye. Always love him.
Good to see Eddie Faye for sure. We got Sean Hockey. He says, hello, friends. Great to see the brothers, brother Ed. And Sean has got a gig coming up, and I want to wish him well as he starts to get ready for that. And I'm excited. I hope we get some footage out of this.
Yeah, he unboxed the guitar real quick, and that was really cool.
Yeah, I have not gotten to that unboxing yet, and I'm dying to see it because I saw it come up. I was like, oh, I don't have the time. So is that 8-string, wasn't it?
Yep, 8-string, and he says if he can't play it, he could use it for a canoe.
There you go. There's a practical guy there for sure. And I've got fellow Texan Martian Murray here with us. So hey, howdy y'all. And because Greasy Monkey Guitars, he's saying, hey, people, happy Sunday.
One of my favorite guys to see, Greasy.
Yeah, I love the name Greasy Monkey Guitars.
I love how John goes,
Greasy Monkey. And we got Josh Tamberg, the biggest guy in Germany right now.
I hope he's enjoying it over there.
I know he is. I've lived over there, not too far from where he is now. It is absolutely gorgeous. There is always something to do, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to have a good time over there.
Well, plus he gets a taste that great beer that they have.
And I'll tell you, this is gonna blow your mind. It's cheaper to buy a beer than it is to buy a Coca-Cola. Okay. In my army barracks, the soda machine had Budweiser in it. So, yeah. All right, let's see. We got brother William De Silva. And if you hadn't seen William's recent glass blowing video, you need to check that out.
Yeah, I gotta check it out when I get a chance.
A new name in the chat first, Jade Guitars. Welcome in, saying, hey, everybody.
Nice to have you, Jade.
Yeah, I have to go over there and check that channel out a little bit after the show. See what's going on over there. We got Stephen Monticelli, another alumni of Chatting with Charles, and really had a great time talking with him. And it took us way too long to get around to do it, but I'm so glad we did. And
I just love the artwork he did on that guitar right there. It's got in his logo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He does. And this was his first inlay work.
Yeah.
His very first inlay work. Guy is super talented. I love him. Hello there, both to you as well, William. Appreciate you. We got Dastardly Dave saying sup all to everyone in chat.
Hey, Dave.
And we got our great friend Charles Green in the chat. And Charles, I will be out in the garage a little later on today, getting that body sanded and getting it ready to start to receive some fabric. So we'll have some videos coming soon.
Keep it rocking, Charles.
Mm-hmm.
Do it all the time.
Absolutely love where he's going with that channel. And it burns me up when I miss it. So I have to go back and watch Friday's show on replay because I got kidnapped by family again after.
Well, I usually have to watch replay because I'm working.
Yeah, you working the nights, and I was able to watch most of Quentin's show, and I really enjoyed that. And but I was out doing family stuff when Charles Green came out, so I'm anxiously waiting to be able to. I'll probably do a little bit of the replay as I work on his guitar. See, that's two birds, one stone, right?
2 birds, 1 stone. Yep.
We got Glenn Michael Thompson saying, "Hey, y'all." Well, hello there to you,
Hey,
Glenn Michael Thompson, and welcome in Matt from McCollum Music. Ayo.
One of my favorite guys, Matt. Right there.
Oh, he is a riot. He is a riot. And we got Blackjack Guitar saying, hey, Charles, brother Ed, Rocksters, cheers. Appreciate it.
Hey,
we got Jimmy Biter with the what's up? I completely until started seeing Jimmy Biter on YouTube, Ed. I completely forgotten about the whole what's up thing.
Yeah. Well, I love how Jimmy starts it with that.
Yeah, for sure. And you got your buddy, my buddy, Steve Reeser in the chat.
Yep.
Saying good morning, everyone.
Which I want to thank because he turned around and gifted me what he won from Fruitcake Tony's
trivia
picks. So I appreciate that. I really do.
Excellent. Of course, I'm still talking to you. Yeah, we got Martin saying hello to everybody. Appreciate that. I love the community in the chat here and how they just talk to everybody. Welcome in, Zach Thong. Yep. We got Ben Coombs. He's lurking and working. Wait, working? What are you working on, Ben Coombs?
Favorite guy, Ben.
No kind of injury. And let's see. We got Vox Guitar Rock saying, hey, everyone.
Hey, Vox.
Let's see here. There he is. Steve Cassidy Guitar saying,
yep.
Hello, Guitar Humans. So welcome in. Appreciate having you here. And if you haven't checked out Steve Cassidy's channel, Ed, this is a good one to watch.
Yeah, I try to check out when I can. Channel.
Yeah, you're kind of a busy guy again.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Everybody's saying hello to him. Oh, there he is. The West Coast is up with Hip Metalworks. Good morning, Ken. Hope you're doing well.
Yep. Good to see Ken.
And we got the coolest avatar in the world, Time Surfing
Alien. Yep.
Welcome in, bud. Let's see. Trying to make sure I'm not. Oh, there he is. The other half of L&M Guitar Corner, Lucas, saying hello to everybody. Well, I appreciate you being in.
Okay, Lucas.
So see, the thing is that we're kind of messing with their family time on our Sunday morning is their Sunday evening, and so appreciate them being here. All right. Let's see, we got Cushman NYC saying hello to Zach Thong and cheers and welcome in.
Go, Cush.
Cush was also another guest that I had a great time with on chatting with Charles here.
Yeah, I remember that.
And where Cush is,
Dan Gorman.
Dan Gorman follows, right? So Dan is here saying hello to both you and I.
Dan's always say hi to me when I'm in a chat.
Yeah, Cush and Dan are really good that way. They always make sure they say hello to everybody. It's one of the things I just absolutely love about this community. And there he is, Ryan OU812 saying, "Heyo,
My man Ryan, I love his.
can't wait to listen to those guys jam out later today."
I'll be lying down, but
And we got Michael Kraus, and he says the weather is better. Out comes the soda pop. That's right. We got our first soda pop video from Ben the other day. Soda pop.
oh yeah,
Let's see. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we got Earl saying, "Yo, Randy," and Ryan. And we got, there he is, Brian Search for Tone saying, "Brother love it."
yeah. It's good to see Brian.
That, I'm just really enjoying things I've been seeing on the different guitar communities lately, and I just love the YouTube, watching the YouTube videos on guitar.
Yeah, well, UPS is messing up on deliveries. I know that much.
Oh, really? Why? What did you hear? Hey, Rico B.
By watching Brian and hearing from other people, a lot of people are getting some of their stuff damaged because he got a solar guitar, I think, from Spain, and it was damaged. He sent it back, and when they sent another one, it was more damaged.
Oh my!
And that was just recently on one of his clips. But solar makes a good guitar, so and they work really well with you. So
yeah. Well, that's a shame. Well, Luke is here.
I've been hearing other people complain about damages from UPS. So
yeah, they're not always the most careful. Lucas here is he's not busy. He's lying in bed half dead after running a half marathon today in a nearby town. That's self-inflicted, but I certainly hope you recover nicely.
So don't I.
and of course, Ben has had issues with UPS as well. And he says UPS has been a shit company for years, but nobody listens to me.
I do, Ben.
When I ship now, I only ship guitars FedEx or USPS. And most of the time, FedEx is cheaper. Unless you want to sit there and ship cross borders, right? That's when USPS gets a little cheaper.
Well, the only reason why I go to UPS is because they're not too far from me. So I don't know where FedEx except one is in Manchester.
Mm-hmm. Well, Zach Thong, he said he woke up early this morning and he was playing his two custom acoustics. The strings were sounding dull, and so he put fresh strings on. There you go. You gotta love it.
Yeah, I hear he's also thinking of getting an amp for his acoustics.
Yeah, he's looking into some effects for the acoustics. Yeah,
that's cool.
Well, Martian Murray said he's had worse luck with FedEx. That's interesting because I have never had much of an issue with FedEx at all. But I guess you get enough stuff shipped, you're gonna have problems anyway. UPS, United Parcel Smashers, love it. And Kush says, "What's up, puppy badass?"
Not much. Good to see you, Kush.
Yeah, Sean Hockey's the one for those Solars, and he says he feels bad for Brian because those Solars are awesome. Welcome in, Keith H. He says, "Tell us how you really feel, Ben, about that."
We got to get a show with me, Ben, Keith H, and Ryan on sometime.
Yeah, I need to coordinate that because I think that would just be a riot. You, Keith H, and Ryan Hall.
Yeah,
it would just like a panel. And I'm just gonna say I'm gonna start one sentence, and then I'm gonna lay back and watch.
Yeah.
Oh, and Brian says, yeah, the best part that UPS sent back the guitar after the claim process, and neither of the double boxes were taped shut.
Oh, awesome. That sucked.
Awesome. Okay, let's see. All right, so Eddie Faye's got a question for Brother Ed. He says, now that you're back to work, how do you balance or carve out time for guitar playing with your other priorities? What else is competing for your time? And I'm glad he brought this up because this is where we were going.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. Sometimes I turn around, try to relax a little, eat first, and then if I get a chance, run upstairs and practice between 15 to half an hour, and then try to come back down and relax and everything. But certain days, like Fridays, I'll usually come home and relax most of the day because I try to get to bed early enough because it's Friday night and Tuesday nights are the hard nights that we have. So
Mm-hmm.
Saturdays is usually my relaxed time. I get some practice, and then I got my practice with Blue Mox at about
Right.
2 o'clock.
And so one of the things that you and I had been kind of talking about in the green room was since you've been back at work, you've been finding it harder to get that practice time in.
Yeah.
Right. But there was something else you said about it. Do you remember what it was?
No.
Of course not. Well, with not being able, you said something to the effect of with not being able to find time to practice, that you were feeling a little more discouraged with it, right?
Yeah.
You
I
weren't
get
kind of feeling, as excited about playing guitar as you had been before.
Yeah, it kind of gets me down because I come home from work and I'm all stressed out, and it almost wants me to play something bluish, but then I'm not that good at blues, so I kind of fiddle around with some things.
Mm-hmm.
As you notice, when I was fiddling around near the end before we came on, I
Yeah.
was fiddling around with the bottom strings.
Yeah.
And
So
won't use FedEx either.
everyone's kind of talking about their different experiences with it, so I'm putting up there. This is sooner drones take over, the better. Yeah, that's for sure, Brian. USPS is often usually about $60 more than FedEx, which is why I've been using FedEx. So, William De Silva said some USP employee stole the hollow points Floyd Rose right out of my package and sent along an empty box. Oh no!
Jeez, that's United Postal Service. That sucks.
Yeah, I've had a couple bad experiences with. Well, I've had one bad experience with USPS where they damaged something and refused to pay for it, and despite appeals and everything else. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of those. But no, Ed, I mean, guys, one of the things that maybe the chat can help us here with is, let's talk about those things that we do once our time is not at a premium. How do we keep excited about playing guitar when we're having hard time going to go ahead and carve out that time to do it? Because Eddie Faye's question is real and Ed's struggle is real. And that was one of the things I told him we would go ahead and work on today. Let's see. Yeah, so Martin, did you guys win the game yesterday? I didn't see that. Let's see. Unfortunately not. They were the better team, but worse at making goals. So they lost 2-1. Well, you only lost by 1 goal. So
one ain't bad. At least you weren't wiped out, Martin.
Okay, so Lucas has a solution for you, Ed. Okay, I'm sorry. He says, I have a solution. Buy many guitars so you can put them everywhere. Eventually, you have to pick one up and strum a few chords.
Right now I'm having a financial problem, so I'm trying to straighten that out.
William, that was my experience as well. I love this. Times are being blame it on the ref. Right, and I think Kush is, probably is right on here, Ed. You play a little every day, no matter how long, even if it's just 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And work on the things that keep working on things that are giving you trouble, right?
John
Now,
Duchesne.
Duchesne, good morning. Welcome in, my friend.
I made sure my guitars, me and Chuck made sure my guitar's in tune, John.
It was 10 minutes ago, so
Yeah.
whether it still is or not, that's another story. No, but here's the thing. Ed was playing a little bit for me before we went on live, and you could tell there was a difference between the stuff that you really liked and the stuff that you were being taught, right? Like, for example, you've been working with Blue Mox, and he's been teaching you a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he's been teaching you is Bon Jovi's "Wanted Dead or Alive," and right, and then you've been also working on the riff for "Smoke on the Water."
Yeah.
Right, and so I know the riff on "Smoke on the Water" is still incredibly rough. But the song that you wanted to learn, "Wanted Dead or Alive," is a whole lot clearer. I mean, down to your hand placement on the fretboard and your attack on the strings. So you want to talk about that a bit?
We'll just show it.
Okay. Okay, now play the other one.
Sorry, wait a minute.
All right, stop there. Lucas has some other advice. He says maybe you put the gear where you have where you find a few minutes every day, maybe even before work. So look for those. He's looking for those moments of extra time and having a guitar nearby when you're going to have it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Eddie Fay says, I like to hear more about your practice with Blue Mox with respect to financial issues. Playing guitar, once you have one, costs zero, right? Because it doesn't cost anything to practice, right? So, yeah, tell the folks a little bit about your practices with Blue Mox.
Well, he's been trying to teach me power chords besides certain little rhythms. He sent me some things to practice, which really helps me, and he actually helped me learn how to read kind of tab a little, which helps me figure out where the strings are and what certain positions they are.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still trying to get a handle on that, but at least everything he's taught me, I've been able to remember and practice over and over. Sometimes I jump from one thing to another just to make sure I remember them, to get them down.
Yeah, and so there's the things that you've been working on to kind of get down, and the things you've been working on to learn something new, and then the stuff of you do a lot of just kind of plucking around to see what kind of sounds you can make.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Matt says I literally just practice while I do everything, and there's usually a guitar in my hands unless I'm on a job site. Here you go. Martin is saying not never. I try to teach the kids values, even if their odds are stacked against you. Just overcome them and become better, And I'm sure no ref tries to be biased, but everyone makes mistakes. Oh, for sure. Yeah, you got to teach this kids good sportsmanship, right? It'll take them through a lot of things in life, for sure. Yeah, and Lucas is another piece of advice here. Place the gear nearby where you have it. It's easy to grab and maybe play a couple minutes before work or just a riff or a simple tune. Yeah, excellent. Glenn Michael Thompson
I can't leave a guitar in the
can't leave it
can't
where
leave a guitar in the living room. My wife would go crazy.
Yeah, well, I thought that too, but my acoustic lives in the living room right now. The guild's not behind me. It is in the living room where I can pick on it until she tells me stop. Glenn Michael Thompson says, I tend to play more guitar if I keep a couple on stands. In the cases, they're out of sight, out of mind for sure. And Ed's got a rack over his shoulder there where things are more reachable.
Well, they're more like over that way, but I got a rack.
But this is upstairs in the house, right, Ed? This room is upstairs in the house.
I have one hanging right over here too.
And Josh is telling Lucas and Martin he'd love to take a road trip out there to see those two of them. Yeah. Josh, that's a beautiful drive from where you are to where they are. Just saying. And Martin says, in general, I agree with Lucas. Place gear easy to access. It should be easy to use. No knob twisting or adjustment necessary. Just decent sound. So it's fun to play.
Our favorite Ryan Hall's in the house, Chuck.
Is Ryan Hall here?
Yes, he is.
There he is, brother Ryan Hall. Everyone's favorite music law. Howdy.
Oh, yeah.
Had to go down for that one. Here you go.
Yeah, well, me and you are.
And Sean,
take a chance on switching driving that bus.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're going to be on that Ryan Hall tour bus as soon as he's ready to go out. We got Sean Hockey, and he says 15 minutes a day is much better than 1 hour in a week, in his opinion, because, you're actively doing that every day, right? And so you're doing something every day. So find, that's a really good point. Even when you don't have the time, you can always find 10 minutes. It's about whether you want to find that 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. Because I know I'll come home from work and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to sit down for 10 minutes and then I'm going to go do stuff. And then 3 hours later, I could have been working on a guitar. I could have been playing a guitar, all that kind of stuff. Hello there, Ryan Hall, our favorite music in law, I tell you.
Yes, we love you very much, Ryan.
And Earl says you can always use your forearm as a guitar neck if the guitar is not available. Good for finger exercise. Yeah, you could, I suppose. I like this. Monch says, designate one guitar, a stand guitar, never put it away and grab it every day. Great way to forget about the day's trouble for a while. For sure. For sure. Yeah. Time Surfing Alien says, Angie by the Stones is a good practice song. There you go. Let's see. William says, it's got to be much harder to learn guitar as an adult from scratch due to having so many more responsibilities, leading to less time and the ability to stay focused on one thing. It is. I think the older you are when you start, the harder it is, but you got to keep plugging away. It's like everything else. You just got to keep plugging away at it, right? If you really want to do it.
I wish I had the time like when I was out of work. I had more time on my hands to do things.
Well, yeah, and you were making great progress.
Do other things I needed to do.
Oh, that's also a good topic. Which wrist was it that did you have both of them done?
The
already?
left wrist.
All right, so you get the left. So how has that been since the surgery's been over compared to before and after?
I've been doing better with it.
But but specifically on the guitar, have you noticed a real difference on the guitar with it?
Certain times, but then I still got to get my fingers to spread them a little bit more. I got to turn around, do practices like Blue Mox taught me how to stretch my hands, which I haven't done because I've been busy. Because we were talking, me and him were talking about that. I'm used to grabbing things, so that's why my hands are always clenched together, clenched close together.
Yeah.
It's the way it's been all
So
my life.
interesting thing going back and forth here in our chat. And I think I lost it. No. Okay. So Martin's saying absolutely, Sean Hockey. Sleep is extremely vital for me to learn new things. And so if you're not getting enough sleep, it's a lot harder to learn something new, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that your body kind of resolves as you sleep. And and you come pick it up the next time, it's a lot easier. You ever notice that, Ed? You're working on this riff
Yeah.
and you've been struggling, you put it down, and then you come back to it the next day, all of a sudden it's there.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What it sucks is sometimes when you go to bed and you try to sleep for work and then you dream about work and then you wake up.
Yeah,
Which
that's
I
for
have a
sure.
lot to do with that, the stress from it.
Yeah. And Eddie Faye says there's no wrong answer in what motivates you or inspires you to play. Learning chords of songs that you love could be that spark to want to learn more, for sure. So you have, you got to, you go back and forth between those things. I like that.
What inspires me by watching some of the guys after when I get to watch the shows or something like that, how well they play
Mm-hmm.
helps me. It's like Quentin plays with his fingers close together at times. Makes me feel a little bit better. I can probably do it if I keep going.
There you go. And Time Surfing Alien says, just touch your guitar every day. It will lead to practice guaranteed. Yeah, sometimes you sit there. The hardest part about it is getting yourself to pick up that guitar, because once you pick it up, you kind of get lost in it and you think, oh, I'm only going to play for 10 minutes and spend an hour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Matt says the trick to a good practice schedule is to have, I love this, schedule is to have no life, no kids, no wife. Boom, all the practice. That's why he's alone. Oh, that is too much. It's too much.
Yeah, well, he's single.
And Ben is on board with that idea. Says us hermits do get our practice time in. Yeah, Martin. I guess after hearing one story, you'd want to know. Yes, I did crack it open. Everything seems to be there. Body seems to be nice, and so we've got that base project that we're going to get ready to do for fabric topping for Martin. Martin, you and I need to get together, talk fabric. What you're kind of looking for here. Awesome. Let's see.
Look forward to see that.
Mm-hmm. And Eddie Faye says there's a bajillion songs based on GCD 145. You do have a poster on your wall with all the chords and a list of songs you want to learn to play, right? So he does have a chord chart. Does have a small chord chart that has most of the prominent chords on it that he's got handy. And do you have a list of songs that you want to learn to play yet?
Not lately. I haven't made a list. I've been concentrating on other things at times.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's another thing to think about, though. What is a list of songs you want to go ahead and learn to play? And you can always I found if I'm not really into practicing, if I'm not really feeling practicing, but I have a song that I want to learn to play, I'll go on YouTube and look up a lesson for it. And that'll and then I'll spend 10, 15 minutes on it, not even think about it, have walked away with a new song and just enjoy it. So you can always just, search in, say you wanted to play, whatever the name of the song is, and type it in, whatever. So you wanted to play Wanted Dead or Alive lesson, guitar lesson, boom, and you'll find like 4 or 5 different ones. And you watch a couple of them and find which person you kind of gel with the most. And Dan says sometimes he just doesn't feel like playing guitar, damn it.
I like what Ryan put down. Ryan's got take this job and shove it. Yeah, that's one of our favorites. Me and Chuck grew up with Johnny Paycheck.
Yeah. Take this job and shove it would be a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see what else. I'm missing something. All right. So Martin says they're having dinner now. Got to go watch the rest of the replay. Have a great Sunday, fine folks. And please don't forget to leave a like. Appreciate that, Martin. And go enjoy dinner with the family, bud.
Yep. Enjoy your dinner time. It's the most important time.
Josh says he's on the opposite end. He wants to sit down for an hour. By the time it's tuned and he figures out what he's playing, the kiddo yells, "Dad!" it is hard being a dad of young kids and trying to find some time to carve out for yourself for sure. Matt is saying look for a date or practice arpeggios. I'm really good at arpeggios. Yeah, okay. William says he's got 6 kids and a wife. Okay, every day he drives everyone nuts. Imagine, but I pull it off. There you go.
He pulls it off. Yeah.
Well, that's better than 6 wives and a kid,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But he's saying play every day. Play every day. Greasy Monkey Guitars already gone by the Eagles. GDC chord progression throughout. Fun song to strum along to. Ed, and all 3 of these chords well.
Yep.
And I know you like
I gotta work on
Eagles. So there you go. Already gone. I want you to find a lesson. Start working on it.
Yeah, I gotta work on.
Chris is saying his son just started his 500 horsepower LS powered race car, and now he's deaf. Love it. And Ryan having been suggesting to take this job and shove it. So you can see him a little bit behind in chat. If you have not checked out Keith over at For the Love of Guitars, super knowledgeable, super easy to understand. Keith Mendez over at For the Love of Guitars, excellent channel. Check it out. And William says, truly the secret to having a guitar next to you, your chill spot in a stand at all times. Right? Where do you spend most of your time? Put a guitar there. Love it. Let's see. Ben says, I used to know several hundred songs. Now I can barely remember 50. That's lifestyle choices, my friend. Lifestyle choices.
It's also old age.
And Dan says that Cush's son is an awesome mechanic. All right. More of the mystery unfolds here, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And William saying, yep, same here. He wishes he could remember everything he used to know. That's the other thing, too, Ed. If you're not playing things constantly, you forget how to play them.
Yeah.
I know there are several songs that I learned really well that I really enjoyed, but if I haven't played them in a while, I have to go back and look and see how to play them again.
Yeah, a horse with no name is a hard one to play.
Yeah, that rhythm is to get that strumming down perfectly is a little bit, but it's only like a couple chords. So
yeah,
but once you get the strumming pattern down, that song is all yours.
Yeah. Me and Blue Mox tried that. Sometimes I try to get that down.
Well, you can get that one down by if you just take it and strum it in 1, 2, 3, 4, just to get used to all the chord changes.
Yeah.
And then start working with the strumming pattern. Time Surfing Alien says, I'm a full-time caregiver for my wife. Every time I pick up my guitar, she needs something. I swear she has radar. Yeah, it's it goes back to the whole thing. Like, the minute your wife thinks you're comfortable, that's when
Yeah,
you want something, right?
I think that's something built in their nature, man.
Oh yeah, it is. Keith loves his guitars, that's for sure. Time Surfing England said 4-chord song covered 90% of what's on the radio for sure. Zach has got a solution. He says for everybody to find a good-looking woman, they also play guitar. That also plays guitar. And hope your wife never
Smart
finds
man,
a
Zach.
letter. Oh, you gotta love it.
Smart
Gotta
man,
love it.
Zach.
Greasy Monkey Guitars says he was a caregiver's mode himself the last few years. It's much better now, so he feels it going through. Yeah, it's not easy taking care of somebody else, especially when it's someone you're really close to and you're worried about them. So, for sure. And William says, "Isn't Horse with No Name polyrhythmic with the vocals and strumming pattern?" Yeah, it's a very, very different thing. So trying to sing it and play at the same time, no, I can't do it. Can't do it. I've tried. We got Johnny Freebar saying good afternoon, all. We'll appreciate you, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
I like this. Josh says he makes a checklist of all the songs he knows, add a couple of songs every month, and then make sure to try and at least play the song once a month, check it off the list, and then uncheck everything each month. That is a man that likes to plan.
Yeah.
And Eddie says, Ed, as spring blooms in Connecticut, the weather allows more weekend motorcycle rides on the weekend to clear your mind. When you get back home and you make a sandwich with a cold drink, afterwards, play guitar. See, he's got all your things going here. Gotta love it.
Yep.
And Matt says if he could go back and force his younger self to do anything, he'd make himself a practiced chicken picking. And totally missed the boat on that one. Yeah, chicken picking is a lot harder than people think.
Oh, yeah.
William saying on a side note, his buddy's uncle helped write Horse with No Name. Oh, awesome. Cold snack. All right. Time Surf says, well, the wife needs some pudding. Got to go surf off to the grocery store. Have a great weekend, everyone. Well, have a good one, Time.
Yeah, good one, Time Surf.
All right. So, what do you think of that advice you got, Ed? You think it's helpful?
It's very helpful and everything. Like I said, sometimes I've watched certain shows that help me, inspire me, get back into it. So, and it's like yesterday, Quentin was on a live stream. I joined him and showed him some of the stuff that Blue Mox have been teaching me and everything. It was good to be on one of his live streams to show him.
I tell you, I could commend you because getting on a live stream and playing what I can play it's not something I don't have the balls for that right now. Right. And you just get on here like, oh, here's what I got.
Yeah, but I gotta admit, you're a much better player. I'm surprised you're out there doing something.
Well, I've been at it for a couple years and I've got a lot to learn, a lot to learn for sure. Yeah, I still feel like a beginner.
Well, I'm more of a beginner than you, and I still put myself out there, even though I embarrass myself. Maybe a little.
But I could, I could tell the things when you and I get on and you play stuff, I could tell the stuff that you're not excited about and the stuff you are. There's a huge difference in it. Everything from like the stuff that you love, your attack is right on it. right? And
Yeah.
if it's something that you don't love, I just have to tell you, okay, you're too hard on your right hand. You're too hard on your right hand.
Yeah.
Dan says he's a 3-year beginner, a 3rd-year beginner. Yeah, that's about right for me as well.
Yeah. Well, Blue Mox is 3 years, and he's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, blue is good. Blue is good. Ryan says I used to take a cassette tape of songs I wanted to play it, and he wanted to play it, and play all the way through before he set the guitar down. There you go.
Well, he's got some good videos, Ryan Hall.
And Matt says that's part of it, though, Charles, learning to work through your limits and play through your mistakes for sure. For sure. Well, Ed, why don't we go ahead and transition over? You've been watching a lot of different channels, and you stumbled across some stuff that I hadn't seen. You introduced me to this one fella, Rick Renstrom.
Yep.
And so tell me a little bit about that channel, because I've watched some of it and I've enjoyed it. I've watched some of the streams. Guy's a phenomenal player.
Yes, and he's actually kind of handicapped. He's got small little arms, and one's twisted a certain way, but he plays awesome. He shreds awesome on the guitar.
Yeah, I mean, and when Ed says he shreds, he does shred. It's like this is a guy, and he gets on and he goes live like 3 times a week, and he is just an incredible player.
And he writes his own songs and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
he actually broke a D string yesterday on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he couldn't believe it. He had to switch guitars. He's never heard somebody breaking a D string.
No, and that's not what I've heard. High E, B string, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
not a D.
Kush says he's a beginner guitar player lately. And Michael is completely on about this one. He says, we're all eternal students. It's a never-ending pursuit. It takes a few years to get the basics down. Guitar is not an easy instrument. No, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've learned, I've played clarinet and bass clarinet, all 4 saxophones, violin, some keyboards, and guitar has been the biggest challenge of them all.
And you did trumpet too, I think.
I did mess around with trumpet a little bit, but never really played it.
Didn't you, John, play it at one memorial service?
John did. Yeah, John did. John was the trumpet player, and so I tried to learn it along with him.
Yeah.
Ben says he thinks he's broken every string on a guitar over the years. I wonder if that had anything to do with the kind of music you were playing. Johnny 3-Bar says he's a 45-year beginner. Yeah, and Matt says, yep, never ending is 100% accurate. And Ben's saying, yep, file your saddles, folks. Sometimes you get those burrs on your saddles from manufacturing, and that's what's breaking your strings down there. And Luke is saying he's only managed to break high E strings. Yeah, for sure. So Ed, who else are you watching now?
I'm watching your Safari, and then Quentin and Charles Green. Sometimes I catch Ben on Mondays. Mm-hmm. I don't, and sometimes I really catch his demos on the phone at times when he has them. So then once in a while I'll check out Fret Not, their songs or their demos that they put on the I get them on my phone.
There you go. All right, so you but are you watching any? Is there anyone that you watch for like lessons? Have you watched any of the lesson channels out there, like Marty or?
No, but sometimes I check in on Proof Take Tony too.
Okay, yeah, you watching. Okay,
but I haven't I want to try to check out Ryan's show once in a while. I haven't done that in a while.
Oh yeah, the OU812 folks. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a great place. That is a great place to be motivated. You guys just play and you go back and forth for sure.
Oh yeah.
Martin is back and he's playing catch up, watching us at 2 times the speed. And Ben says he appreciates your support, Ed.
Well, I appreciate Ben.
And Glenn Michael Thompson says, "Yep, Ben, I hear you. I've broken every string, but rarely break them anymore." And Eddie says, "My friend who is an amazing player said the world of music is full of guitar players." She said, "Learn drums. I get the practical advice, yet couldn't deny the lure and appeal of guitar." It's true. There's something about the guitar.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Zach says he's been playing guitar since he was 1 year old, and he plays guitar every day. He's got those 2 beautiful acoustics, Ed. Oh my gosh.
yeah. Well, it's like Ricky Rhinestone. He really impresses you with his abilities. You know
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look when I start feeling down. I watch him play. I'm like, if he could play with 3 fingers like that, I could play.
Yeah, he's overcome a lot to get where he is and play, and it's just like, okay, if he can do that, then surely I could play this song, right?
Yeah, he's very inspirational.
What gets me is when you watch the videos with it's the young kid doing it and they're just shredding, and you're like,
Yeah, like the
Zach is
14-year-old
definitely
they got out there.
Yeah, that's the one that's hard for me. So, where are you hoping in the end this journey is going to take you? What do you want to get out of playing guitar?
Just so I can play and enjoy some of the music that I play.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ryan Hall's asked the big question. Got any new guitars lately?
No, I haven't, Ryan. The only one I got a while ago was the one from the Les Paul that I got from Sweetwater, and that was the last one I got.
Mm-hmm. And Steve says 12 string.
Yeah,
I've
we got
almost
one
made it through the show without talking about his 12 string. Oh gosh.
Yep, you gotta do that 12-string, Chuck.
Oh gosh. I knew it had to come, right?
Yeah, I had to come. I wasn't throwing you under the bus this time on it, but
Nope. It doesn't matter. Ben says he plays guitar to get laid. It's not working. Well, maybe if you combine it with the Kiss Me shirt and, I don't know.
yeah, playing the band and the guitar again, Ben.
Yeah.
The bar.
And Eddie Fay says as he gets older, he appreciates the musicianship and unique voices of other instruments to complete the song. Horns and keys and bass and even something simple like a tambourine or an egg shaker. Yeah. Love that.
You
Yeah. It was just mean. Okay. I know. We're there. They're all loving it. So Mike says, "Sorry, we're just talking about broken strings, and 12 string just came up." You notice, Mach, I didn't put that comment up there, right? Oh, I am gonna have to string. I'm never gonna hear the end of it. I ain't never gonna hear the end of it.
I'm gonna hear the end of it.
Yeah. All right.
So I bet $10 you turn around and poke your finger with a string. I'm quitting. Bet my $5.
It's probably gonna happen for sure.
You cry like a baby. I don't know. Quentin, you're pretty tough on that one, Chuck.
Mm-hmm. And Martin's all caught up. Yeah, right. Hip, no pressure, not at all. We're just gonna bring it up until you do it. You will never hear the end of just do it. That's right. Yeah, just in time. See Charles restring the 12 string. Did I hear right? Oh my!
Now you're getting it.
So Ryan Hall said starting on piano first made it a lot easier to play the guitar for sure. It isn't much. Remember, Charles, long videos, better algorithms. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to ditch the whole idea, Ed, of doing it as a live stream. Right?
Yeah.
And just
do it as a video.
Just do it as a video. I think that's probably it.
Yeah,
but I'll still probably have someone join me to heckle me as I go. So Blackjack says string of 12 string, no problem. Tuning is another story. That's true.
Yeah, you're gonna need Ben's advice on that, how to tune it.
And looks like JP Page 2 is going to be next week's guest for Ben Coombs.
That's cool.
That's awesome. So, Ed, anything you want to say before we start to wrap up? We got about 3 minutes here. And what do you want to say to the people before we start, getting ready to get out of here?
Well, thanks for everybody for their advice. One. Thank you again, Steve, for the pick that you gave to me. I just hope I got the email to Fruitcake Tony. I'm just glad to all see you and be on the show with all you. And you guys got to definitely check out that Rick Rhinestone.
Rick Rhinestone, yeah, I think is if you look in the description for this live stream, this channel is down in there. He's one of the channels down in there. And if anyone wants to be a guest on Chat with Charles, my email address is in the description as well. And so if you've been dying to get on the show, email me. We can set something up. Of course, yeah. Ben has got BC Rich or Dark Rob on the show tonight. We've got the Music Therapy Lab should be coming on after us here in a few minutes. And the OU 812 crew has got their usual Sunday hang and play and just a great time. So
and Ryan and Keith H get in touch with Charles. He wants to do a 3-way panel between me, you, and Ryan.
Yeah, at some point, Ryan and Keith H, if you guys are game, we'd love to get you on Chat with Charles as to do a panel with Ed. And like I said, I'm going to ask a couple weird questions, step out of the way, and just let the chaos ensue.
Which will be fun, guys.
Hello there, Sandra. I'm glad you made it in. Thank you very much.
Nice to see you, Sandra.
And Steve says, thanks for a great show, Ed and Travel. Appreciate that. And Lucas says, great show. Thanks, Chuck and Ed, and everyone. Cheers. Well, I tell you, it is the chat that makes this show work, and we appreciate the chat and the community here. Fun show. Thank you, Ben.
Yep. Thank you, Ben.
Martin says, but Charles 75N 12 string is child's play in comparison to what I've got ahead of me. A 32 string zither times 2. Oh my gosh.
Oh God.
For one ring string. Oh my gosh. All right. And then keep at it, Ed. Pick up the guitar every day. Just a minute. Work slow. Set realistic goals, and you'll inspire yourself. You'll self-inspire. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate y'all.
Do my best, sir, Ed.
Everyone, have a great Sunday. Check out all the other shows. We certainly appreciate you coming, and we'll see you back next week or in the chats. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.